Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. You don't know, it's just truly CRF, and this is where I speak about my life and experiences as a dialysis patient. So if you have been here already, I want to thank you guys for the continued support. If you are new here, feel free to click that subscribe button and also click the bell so you can get notified whenever I upload a new video. So guys, this is a quick introduction to a 3-part series about my kidney transplant journey. And the title to this series is called Trial, Error, Failure. So this is just video 1, and I know you guys are wondering why I have an empty chair by me. This is because we have a guest today. Okay guys, so this is my twin. Introduce yourself, twin.
Hi everybody, my name is Marissa. I am the older twin by 2 years, but we are still twins in spite of.
Yeah, she's 2 years older than me, but we call each other twin because we share a very close brother-sister bond. You check it. So, yeah, nobody will tell her I'm not a twin, okay? Anyway, so guys, as I said, this is video 1 of a 3-part series. So, for our first video, we are going to be talking mainly about our first trip towards my kidney transplant journey. Let's get into it.
So like Cyrus said earlier, I am the older twin, so obviously I have the longer memory, even though he doesn't think so. But sometime in 2016, we decided as a family that the best thing to do for Cyrus was to try for a transplant. However, from day one, when we found out that Cyrus had kidney failure, was diagnosed with kidney failure, I decided from there and then that I was going to give him a kidney, because there's no way that I could just sit here and watch my brother suffer or watch him just die like that.
Trying to do something.
Yes. So we started exploring it from the time that we found out, but we did not know exactly how we were going to go about getting it done, because this searching for a transplant is very expensive, and we figured that even though we would get the money for the transplant, we would have to be put on a long waiting list to get a transplant done. So in January of 2016, I don't remember exactly how we found out, but we heard about a government initiative where the government would had an agreement with Cuba, whereby transplant could be done in Cuba, and we applied, and our application was approved. So in February of 2016, we got ready for our Cuba trip. That is Cyrus and myself, with me being the donor. It was a long journey, and obviously we had fun along the way. Cyrus is troublesome, I am troublesome too. So we had a lot of fun on the way, but we know that we were going to do something serious. So I think it was the 1st of February that we got to Cuba, the 1st or the 2nd.
Somewhere in the first week.
Somewhere in the first week, yes. We got to Cuba on that night, and our first night in Cuba, it was a real shock to us, because number one, Cuba was having a cold front, and we had no idea that Cuba, being a Caribbean country, could be so cold. And
it was like winter without snow.
Right. And we were not prepared for that at all. So we had to go through that whole experience of being in an airport, not knowing who picking us up, we being so cold, and all of that. However, we, thank God, we did not stay very long. Folks from the hospital, the ambulance came to pick us up, and there were other persons that knew about our arrival in Cuba. So we had persons on the outside waiting for us, so it take some time to come inside. But the process of clearing our bags and everything, I knew basic Spanish, so for me, I could read the signs and all of that. So thank God didn't get lost.
My kidney card, she can do a little Spanish. Tell him something in Spanish.
Hola.
Tell him something better in Spanish. Something longer in Spanish. Like your whole sentence not real.
Like what? Tell me something and I will try to translate it.
Tell him something in Spanish. I will for you.
like don't do me that boy. You will cut off that part and don't do that boy.
Yeah,
okay, like they call Cyrus in Cuba. Cyrus es muy raro.
If you guys know what that means in English, please put it down in the comment below.
Right, so for our first night, really, we did not have so much of a Cuba experience. Like I said, we got there in the night, so it was dark. We were traveling on an ambulance from the airport to the hospital.
An ambulance with no window, so we were
right.
hardly seen outside.
Yeah, so our first trip to Cuba, we were not tourists, we were patients traveling in an ambulance. Yes. So we got to the hospital, and since it was in the night and most of the admin staff had already gone home, we were just brought up to our rooms, which was the 7th floor, which is the dialysis unit. We were at the Hermana hospital, which is the Brothers International.
The American Brothers.
Right.
He did a very, like a 24-story building, so it was our first time being so high up. Check it.
Well, it was his first time being so high up. Check it. Yes, so we got there that night. It was already late. Most of the patients were already in bed. The staff had already gone to bed. So basically, they had to wake them up to take us in. And for some strange reason, although some persons knew that we were coming, the actual hospital staff were not aware. Those that were on shift at that time, they were not aware. So they basically just put us in a room, gave us a bed, put us in a room. At the time, the way that the hospital is set up, the patient must have somebody accompanying them. However, there's no bed for the person accompanying them because we were on the dialysis floor and not the international floor, where international guests are treated differently from the local. So we were being treated as a normal local person. And the other reason is that because he is a dialysis patient and they did not have his medical history in advance, they would have to do all the assessments like he was just diagnosed. They would have to do all the necessary assessments for him to find out if he's really a dialysis patient. So we were left in the room in the freezing cold. Thank God we have a mother who cares about us really a lot and who loves us dearly, and she gave us a robe, a really warm robe. So we basically had to share that robe. Whenever his body get warm, I would put it on, my body would get warm, and I would pass it back to him. By that time we were really hungry because we could not stop to get anything to eat or anything like that. So they thank God they actually left a meal for us. But unfortunately we were not accustomed to the Cuban cooking as yet. So again, our dear mother gave us a pack of butter cookies, and that's what that's what we ate that first night and the morning for breakfast as well. Yeah, that's what we had. So that was our first night in Cuba. I cannot say it was a horrible experience, but it was not the best experience because you in a new country for the first time, you don't know anybody. You don't know fluent Spanish, so you cannot understand exactly everything that they're saying. Even though I could understand a few things, not everything, because you know, like the Spanish people, they speak very fast. So if you're not fluent in Spanish, it's really hard for you to pick up everything that they were saying, and they were confused because we were speaking English, we were speaking Spanish, and they could not really understand. So like, you know, at point in the room, tell us just stay there, and then the next day we'll take care of you, we'll do whatever. So that was our first night in cold called Cuba. So since they did not have a lot of information about us, especially not about us but about Cyrus, we had to stay about three days before anything could be done, because the doctors were trying to assess him, the administration was trying to find out information about us and about our case. We had to get the ambassador, it was hard to reach the ambassador and all of that. We eventually reached him and he did come across, and thank God he had a translator, and the translator would do a lot of translations for us. But because of all that, because of that delay, we had to wait about 3 days before Cyrus could start any dialysis, because there's one thing with Cuba, they don't just rush and give you medication. They don't just rush and just do anything for you. They make sure they find out the history of the patient, they find out the type of medication he took, they find out your blood group and everything. They had to do a number of tests before they start dialysis, even if they knew that he was a dialysis patient, even though his record showed that he was a dialysis patient. They wanted to do their own assessment and own test before they start anything. So 3 days after we got to Cuba, he started his first session of dialysis, and we can tell you more about it because I was asked to stay back in the room. They brought me down just so I could see exactly where the dialysis unit was, and then I had to come back up to the room, and so he will give you his experience on his first day of dialysis.
Okay, so guys, dialysis in Cuba, it is not like much different from dialysis in Dominica. It is the same process, but let me say the nurses, nurses were very, very, very kind. They all wanted to talk to me because they all wanted to speak to somebody that speaks in English, but they speak Spanish. Most of them speak Spanish. I think it only had 2 nurses that could speak a little English, so I mainly communicated with them. But the other nurses, they would want to ask me questions and stuff, and I really could not. All I could say in Spanish is no comprende. That is all I could say at the time. But the nurses were very kind. The doctor, he took his time and he did his thing, and I'm big up to them because they really did a good job and stuff. And dialysis, the machines were not much different from Dominica. They were just like a older model. Because I think those in Dominica, they are like a newer model. They're more high-tech with the touch screen and all. In Cuba, it's still normal button stuff. But all in all, dialysis was kind of cool. So, yeah.
Even like I was not allowed in the dialysis room. There were times where
no visitors are allowed inside of dialysis in Cuba.
There were times where I got to wait in the waiting area, and I know that I made a lot of friends down because the people there are very friendly. They are very nice. Even those just sitting outside, some of them see you for the first time and they will say hello to you. And I think that like just as Dominica, where you have the units, that the people are the dialysis patients, they communicate with each other and they're so friendly with each other. It's like they bond as a family.
Yeah,
it's the same as in Cuba. The dialysis patients, they will talk to you, they will joke. And like, because you're not in your country, so they will try to make you feel more comfortable.
Yeah, I met some really cool patients and stuff.
So from there, once we got established and all the assessments were done, I mean, like, you go to Cuba and I can tell you, you will get a thorough examination. Your heart, your eyes, your lungs, every organ in your body. They will ensure that they check every single organ before they do anything to you. They have to check your medication, make sure your medication is the right medication, to the point where they can even stop you from taking certain medication based on their assessment. They put you on a special ward, so you get one type of food. You don't get the normal food that the other people will get. So you're on a special diet. So they really take their time and they really take care of you. So once all that was done and we were settled in, we started running other tests like blood tests, and even though in the initial stage he had to do blood tests, he had to do multiple tests before anything. They had to ensure that his, like I said, the heart rate, they had to make sure his heart was working well to know that if his body can sustain it. So even though you have kidney failure, you have to ensure that the other organs are strong enough to sustain a major surgery like that. So they had to check all those other organs just to make sure his body functioning properly. Me as a donor had to do blood tests, and I had to do MIR, do different scans. They had to find out the structure of my veins and all of that. So they started running all the different tests, and then about 2 weeks after we were there, then they started doing the compatibility test. So they had to take us to another hospital, yeah, where they would run all the blood works to make sure, first of all, we would need to have the same blood type.
Yeah, and we didn't really know if we would be compatible because we only knew we had the same blood type. That's all we knew from Dominica. So we were just on a quest to do something, and we didn't know anything about it.
And basically that's all we depended on, the fact that we had the same blood type, because that was one of the main things, apart from being compatible.
And the compatibility test is one of the main, it is the most important test when doing a kidney transplant.
So I don't remember the exact name of the test, because it was since 2016, 2 years back. So I don't remember the name of all the tests that they performed on us, but I know that they did a series of blood tests, and I know that they did the construction of the veins to know if your vein would be big enough that if they remove one kidney, that the remaining vein would be big enough to transport the amount of blood that your other kidney needs to function properly. So once they were sure, we ran all the tests, all the necessary tests, and then
compatibility test came out 100%.
We were 100% match, and that was like the most like we were really excited. We were really excited. Yes, I remember we had a party. We had our own personal party. It was pizza we bought that time.
Yeah, we bought a whole pizza for each of us. Yes,
that's how we celebrated. We bought pizza because we were doing on hospital food, and we got to sneak out.
Yeah.
And we got pizza to celebrate when we found out that we.
It was like our first fun moment, kind of. Yeah, we get to walk on the street and all that. So that was kind of cool.
But then, if you realize, our topic is our first party on trial. And although we got so much good news and it was so exciting and all that, finding out that we were 100% matched and we were ready to go ahead with the surgery and all of that, it was really a trial. And unfortunately, our first try was not successful. And Cyrus can explain to you, when I say it was not that successful, what we encountered that time.
So I don't know if you guys can remember, but in one of my previous videos I mentioned when I did an endoscopy, and I had to do one before I leave Dominica to go back to Cuba, so I could show them the results saying that the ulcer in my stomach had cleared up. Now the last endoscopy I did in Dominica, it showed that the ulcer was cleared, but there was a scar. It just was a scar in my stomach. Now when I got to Cuba and they assessed that result, they said that in order to make sure they had to do an endoscopy for me themselves. Now, when they did the endoscopy for me in Cuba, they said that the ulcer was almost cleared, but the scar was still there. But if I do the kidney transplant, then some of the medication that they put me on might irritate the scar and cause the ulcer to come back even worse. So, for precaution, they were supposed to put me on 3 months medication. So because of that, they advised us to return to Dominica so I could do the 3 months medication, and then I had to do an endoscopy before I leave Dominica again, and if it was all clear, then we would get a chance to come back to Cuba. So that kind of really broke us down, because we were so excited about the compatibility test working out, and then we have to hear we could not go further because of the ulcer in my stomach. to continue.
So after being in Cuba for a whole month and getting good results and everything, we had to return home. I mean, like, it was disappointing. However, we still had faith, and we knew that within 3 months, that once he take all the necessary medication, all the medication that they gave him,
they assured us that the medication would fully cure his ulcer.
Yes, and that we would eventually go back. We did not know when we would go back, but we just knew that we would go back. And they really wanted us to come after the 3 months, so we were like on the clock with that medication to make sure that he took it on time and he took the right amount of everything, so that the ulcer would just disappear completely. The scars would fully heal.
Okay, so guys, this concludes our first video for the paper series, Try and Error Failure. I'm not going to tell my twin anytime because she'll be back for video too, okay? So promise me we'll be back for video too.
I'll definitely be back for video too.
Nah, you don't know. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. You don't know, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Anything at all, leave them in the comments below. And we'll see you in video too.